stories around the world to stories here at home. This is the National News Broadcast. I'm Chamindi Samarasekara.
And I am Dishan Veerakone. Let's take a look at the headlines for tonight.
The President instructs to make necessary legal amendments and to impose new legislation to prevent terrorism. A new intercity express train from Colombo Fort to Polonnaruwa. Contradictory statements from Minister Ruwan Wijewardena regarding the national television. Thunder showers expected in several provinces in the island tomorrow as well. An appeal petition by Gotabaya Rajapaksa has been dismissed without examination. A change in the captaincy of the Sri Lankan cricket team. Today is the 18th anniversary of the September 11th attack.
Now moving on into more stories in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed relevant authorities today to speed up making necessary legal amendments and also on the imposition of new legislation to prevent the recurrence of terrorism. He has given these orders participating in the progress evaluation meeting of the Oversight Sectoral Monitoring Committee on National Security at the Parliamentary Complex this morning. This was the first occasion in the history of Sri Lankan Parliament that a president has attended this committee meeting. President Maithripala Sirisena on this occasion has stated that decisions pertaining to national security should not be changed by any means. He has reiterated that it is extremely important to take such decisions at the appropriate moment in the appropriate manner. The President has further stressed on the commitment of all relevant parties not to leave any room for any type of unexpected situations like the April 21st incident that the country was compelled to face. The President also said that the Attorney General has informed him that he has the choice whether to participate or not in the Parliamentary Select Committee sessions on the Easter Sunday attack. The President added that, however, that he as a leader who respects democracy also take into consideration on the importance of national security. Speaker Kawu Jayasuriya, people's representatives, commanders of the three armed forces and heads of security divisions have also graced this occasion.
Permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations in Geneva, Ambassador A.L.A. Aziz, has made a statement before the 42nd session of the Human Rights Council today. In his address said that Sri Lanka was put to test on Easter Sunday 4 months ago on the most abominable terrorist attacks. He added that, however, they have witnessed the continued resilience of Sri Lanka's security forces to protect the country and its people.
Attacks over 4 months ago on Easter Sunday, Sri Lanka was put to test. However, we witnessed the continued resilience of Sri Lanka's security forces to protect the country and its people while ensuring fundamental rights consistent with the pledges it has made before the Council. These range from the speedy restoration of security, which has minimized the impact of the country's socio-economic fabric and held its international reputation, the lifting of the state of emergency within 4 months, providing the ICRC full access to individuals detained, and engaging in an informed debate on seeking to upgrade the new counter-terrorism legislation, and in deference to the sensitivities of the Muslim community, adjustment of the regulation banning full facial cover attire. The government remains committed to combating hate speech and all forms of crimes directed against ethnic and religious communities, and is taking steps to counter religious radicalization and violent extremism. With the reference to the recent appointment of the Army Commander, it must be noted that this is a sovereign decision taken by the head of state. External attempts to influence the decisions and internal administrative processes of public service promotions in Sri Lanka are unwarranted and unacceptable. Articulating a position of concern on this appointment by certain bilateral partners and international entities based on allegations is regrettable and contrary to the principles of natural justice. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
A new intercity express train service between Colombo Fort and Polonnaruwa was inaugurated today. President Maithripala Sirisena has also joined the maiden journey of the Pulathisi train service at the Colombo Fort railway station this afternoon. The newest addition to the Sri Lanka railway service, the Pulathisi Intercity Express, is an ultra-luxury train of the S13 type. The train commences its daily journey from the Fort railway station at 3 p.m. and scheduled to arrive in Polonnaruwa by 7:45 p.m. on the same day. The train recommences its return journey to Colombo Fort from Polonnaruwa on 3:45 a.m. following morning. The train is expected to return to Colombo Fort at 9:06 a.m. in the same morning. The train stops over at the railway stations of Polonnaruwa Polonaruwa, Kurunegala, Mahaba, Kakirawa, Habarana and Hinguraguda. The Pulathisi train is comprised of an air-conditioned first-class compartment, a second and third-class compartments. The President has travelled from the Colombo Fort railway station to the Maradana railway station. He has also inspected the train control room at the Maradana station. The President said that strengthening of the railway service is an extremely conducive development. He also said that the present train service is confronted with many problems. There are old engines and old train compartments. The President added that they, as the government, are making changes in accordance with the changes in the times. He further said that the railway service will soon receive new engines and railway compartments from China. The government hopes to deploy the latest additions on the Kandy and Badulla lines. He has also expressed hope that the new arrivals would lessen to some extent the difficulties being experienced by the passengers of common transportation facilities.
Meanwhile, Minister Sajid Premadasa said that an extremely positive and cordial discussion has been conducted with Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. He made his remarks to the media after a discussion at the Temple Trees yesterday. Minister Sajid Premadasa said that discussions have been conducted on the party, the United National Front and also on the future program. Several members have participated in the talks. He added that no proposals have been presented. The minister further said that they were engaged in the talks as a team of the United National Front. He also said that it is not necessary to divulge contents of the discussion. The minister further said that he believes that all would be able to know the outcome within the next few days. The minister further said that the Prime Minister is in an extremely positive state. He also said that there are no big conflicts within them.
බොහොම සුබවාදී ධනාත්මක මතයක ඉන්න හැමදේම පිළිබඳව. නෑ. මෙහෙමනේ ඉතින් අපිට ගැටුම් අවම කරගන්න පුළුවන් ස්වාමී පුරුෂය.
Now, Minister Sajid Premadasa says that the era of politicians enjoying extreme luxury will be halted. He adds that money spent on lavish lifestyles of politicians are expected to be allocated on behalf of welfare of school children. The minister made these remarks on the occasion of handing over a modern bus to the Beliata Central College under the Samatar Sevana program. The new bus has been purchased through financial contributions of philanthropists on a request and a monetary contribution of Minister Sajid Premadasa. The bus is valued at 4.6 million rupees. Around 2,100 of students of the school have benefited by this measure. This is the 19th bus handed over free of charge by the minister to schools in the Hambantota district.
Minister Ruwan Wijewardena says that the President has the powers to acquire institutions at any instance. He adds that, however, he is against to place a national television under the purview of Ministry of Defence. He was addressing a media briefing in Colombo today. The minister further said on this occasion that, according to survey reports, Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation is placed in the 6th position. Minister Ruwan Wijewardena said that the President has acquired the national television to the Defence Ministry. He added that he, as the Minister of Media, thoroughly condemned this measure. The minister added that, however, the SLRC has come to the 6th position from the 7th and 8th positions. According to the recent survey reports, the entire television and the news division has come forward. The national television was felicitated with the national and international awards within a period of 1 year. He further said that a request has been made from the Treasury for a monthly payment of more than 40 million rupees for the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. The minister also said that, however, this request was rejected by the cabinet. Minister Ruwan Wijewardene said that the national television is placed in the 6th place among television institutions in the country. Minister also said that there is a financial crisis at the national television and the funds have been requested as a remedy to this problem. The minister Ruwan Wijewardene, in response to a query raised by a media person regarding the provision of 30 million rupees to the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, said that requests have been made from the treasury for funds from time to time for the payment of salaries. The minister added that he sees the request as placing further burden on the people. It has been pointed out that it was regretting to know the minister was unaware of the fact of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation receiving monthly a sum of 30 million rupees from the state treasury. Amazing opinions have also been expressed regarding the provision of 40 million rupees monthly to the national television. The minister has also accepted the fact that the financial crisis has been intensified since the year 2014. Minister Ruwan Wijewardene said that when looking at the cabinet paper here, there was a bank era of 330 million rupees in 2018. There has been a request in this regard as well made on 24th of May 2019. The minister further said that there is a committee to look into the qualifications of government heads, including corporation officials being appointed on the instruction of the president. He added that, however, the functioning of the committee has been destabilized. Minister Ruwan Wijewardene said that payments have taken place earlier, but later on it was not possible to do so.
අන්තිමට මම දැනුවත් වුණා මේ කමිටුව දැන් වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ ලේකම් තුමයි අගමැතිතුමාගේ ලේකම් තුමයි ඔයගේ තව දෙන්නේ තුන් දෙනෙක් ඔය කමිටුවේ ඉන්නා. ඒ කමිටුව ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
A government official making a statement to the national television in this connection said that the committee is not in a state of dysfunctioning and that its activities are being updated appropriately. He also said that the qualifications of officials appointed to all ministries are being forwarded to this committee. The committee investigates these qualifications and makes the necessary recommendations. The official added that clarification of facts from the high-ranking officials has been conducted at all times. Minister Ruwan Wijewardene has made the last appointment without informing the committee. The media persons have questioned the minister regarding the person who was last proposed to the post of chairman. Minister Ruwan Wijewardene said that this was presented to the cabinet. Even Minister Mangala Samaraweera said that it was not possible to provide 400 or 300 million rupees all the time. Responding to a query on a mediaman, the minister said that there are other loss-making institutions in addition to Rupavahini.
Now, the governor of the central bank says steps have been taken to introduce a modernized monetary law act for a strong macro-prudential policy framework in preserving the stability of the country's financial system. Central Bank Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy made these remarks at the Central Bank's 69th anniversary oration held at the Central Bank premises today. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka's anniversary oration was titled Political Economy and Economic Policy in Our Times. Associate Professor of the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy of the National University of Singapore, Dr. Razin Sali, delivered the anniversary oration this evening. Many Central Bank officials and representatives from other financial institutions were present on this occasion.
Global but also regional as well as.
It's timely to have a modern law for the central bank. And there are three-four qualitative differences. One relates to the governance structure of the bank, and there the major change is the proposal to take the Secretary of the Treasury out of the governance structure. This is really, in modern central banking, there is a strong conviction that there should be a separation There should be good coordination between fiscal and monetary policy, but you certainly don't want fiscal dominance in monetary policy. And such forbearance has really not been helpful in terms of getting strong macroeconomic outcomes in the economy. We've used monetary aggregates as an anchor for many, many years, but that relationship between monetary aggregates and inflation has got weaker over time. Really, for a number of years, now the central bank has been transitioning towards a flexible inflation targeting regime, and we've pretty much transitioned. The biggest complaint against policy making in Sri Lanka is a lack of consistency and predictability. So if the flexible inflation targeting regime is embedded in the law, then automatically you have greater consistency and predictability. As you know, we will probably have to, raise about $3 billion a year in the foreseeable future, next 3-4 years. And, we were able to raise $2.4 billion 3 months after the political crisis in the last quarter of 2018 through a dollar-denominated sovereign bond issuance. And one of the reasons we were able to do so was that we were able to tell the bond investors that there was such a monetary law act in the pipeline, that there were fiscal rules in the pipeline. Similarly, we were able to raise $2 billion just 2 months after the April bombings. Again, an important part of our sales pitch, important part of our narrative to the investors was the fact that these two pieces of legislation were in the making and that we were hopeful that they will go through. So this is why this Monetary Law Act is actually a landmark piece of legislation in terms of having better chance of having sound macroeconomic fundamentals in this country. It gives the central bank more independence, but the central bank will also be made more accountable. If we want to have a macroeconomic policies which are going to get us out of highly precarious, we are a classic twin deficit country, which is the most vulnerable group of countries. In order to get off that, you have to have macroeconomic stability. Macroeconomic stress, in my view, has been arguably the biggest causal factor for our regression from where we were at independence to where we are today.
Probably since the beginning of last year, we have entered a new mercantilist era of the world economy. The climate remains the same from the global financial crisis in two respects, a global growth slowdown and a global productivity slowdown. But it is different from what happened even 2 years ago in other respects. The story starts with an anti-globalization backlash in the West for all sorts of complex reasons. One of them being 20% of global manufacturing shifting from west to the rest or from north to south from 1990 to about 2015. So you have that backlash in certain pockets. Technology revolutions with a bias to those with education and skills, and all sorts of social and economic and cultural reasons as well. But it has led to a climate of populism, which certain populists in Europe and in the United States have exploited. The global environment led by the United States is of policy making that's much more erratic, much less predictable, much more impulsive, and with a corresponding weakening of international institutions. I think we see that weakening in the bank, in the fund, and perhaps in terms of the biggest existential threat to the WTO itself. A new mercantilist era, because everything I've described so far, coming from the Americans and the Chinese in the first instance, is not about multilateral rules and rule discipline. It's very much about the exercise of power in bilateral transactions. We see the Americans doing that for the moment. We see the Chinese doing that systematically through the Belt and Road Initiative and through essentially trying to create a 21st century version of a tributary system which includes Sri Lanka.
Dr. Razin Sally received a token of appreciation from Central Bank Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy.
The Supreme Court has ordered today to reject without being subjected to examination a petition of appeal presented by Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The order has been delivered on the consensus of a majority of judges, a 5-member panel of Supreme Court judges. The appeal petition was taken up for hearing before the 5-member bench comprising of Supreme Court judges Sisira Diabru, Priyantha Jayawardena, Prasanna Jayawardena, Vijitha Malalgoda and LTD Dehideniya. Gotabaya Rajapaksa has filed the petition requesting to reject the case submitted by the Attorney General on charges of misappropriation of funds amounting to 9 million rupees in the construction of the D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial Museum on the grounds of discrepancies in the charges. Head of the panel of judges, Justice Sisira Diabru, said that there is no reasonable legal foundation that warrants granting of permission to go ahead with the examination of the case. Therefore, he said that the petition has been dismissed without being subjected to examination through agreement of a majority of judges.
Now, the Attorney General has filed a case against an army brigadier and 3 soldiers regarding the Ratupaswala incident at the Gampa High Courts today. They have been charged of the shooting to death of 3 residents and injuring of 45 other residents of Ratupaswala who had agitated demanding pure water. Around 6 years ago, the Attorney General has appointed a 3-member special panel of judges acceding a request of the Attorney General to grant permission to examine the case before a 3-member High Court panel of judges. 94 indictment charges have been filed by the AG against Army Brigadier Amradesha Pregunawardana and soldiers Dingiri Arunage Sirisena, Jayasundara Mudiyan Selage Tilakaratna and Lalit Gray under the Criminal Case Act.
The United Socialist Party says that Siritunga Jayasuriya will be presented as the party's candidate at the forthcoming presidential election. This was disclosed at a media briefing held in Colombo today. The national organizer of the United Socialist Party, Attorney-at-Law Srinath Pereira, said that they have won some victory during the history of the presidential election. He further said that General Secretary of the party, Siritunga Jayasuriya, will be the party's candidate at the 2019 presidential election. Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka says that Sri Lanka could be turned into a powerful country in the event of the amalgamation of communication power, new entrepreneurship and the strength of innovation. The minister was addressing the Moscow 2019 award presentation ceremony yesterday. Groups which have excelled in numerous fields were appreciated at the awards presentation ceremony held in Colombo under the leadership of Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka. Several media personnel were also felicitated with awards for their versatility in the media field. The award ceremony was conducted for the 15th occasion. The event has been organized by the Ceylon Media Communicators Association. A Deputy Director of the News Division of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Vimuktika Karyavasam, was also felicitated for her excellent performance in the media field. Producer of the national television, Ranga Bandarnayaka, has also received an award in recognition of creating of television programs that have been subjected to local as well as international awards. A gathering including parliamentarian Ashu Marasinghe was also present on this occasion.
තාම බලගතු විදිහට තාක්ෂණය වර්ධනය වෙනවා. හැම පැත්තකින්. ඒ වෙනස් වෙන ලෝකයේ අපටත් වැදගත් තැනක් තියෙනවා. ඒ මොකද ආසියාව තමයි අද ලෝකයේ ධන උත්පාදනය.
Now let's have a look around Asia in a minute. The body of Zimbabwe's former president Robert Mugabe will be flown home from Singapore today, 5 days after he died in hospital in the city-state, according to an event schedule.
If dogs and pigs know their mates,
Students in the Malaysian state of Sarawak returned to school today, donning face masks due to thick haze coming from forest fires in neighbouring Indonesia. Chinese suppliers and manufacturers have stepped up their presence at the Frankfurt Auto Show, capitalizing on a strong position in electric vehicle technologies. When the night falls, it is time for Devi Apriliani to shine, the slight 20-year-old clad in a hijab headscarf and without a helmet.
Internship appointments have been handed over to 1,401 medical graduates today. Minister Dr. Raj Senaratne has presided over the ceremony held in this connection. The medical appointments were handed over at the Temple Tree's premises. Appointments have also been presented for graduates in local state universities, Kotalavala Medical College, the Saitam Private University, and also for graduates of foreign universities.
We have introduced the cataract lens free of charge. It was 60,000 rupees per pair. So how many people can afford to buy a cataract lens for 30,000 rupees? So we introduced free of charge. Before this was introduced at the National Hospital Eye section, they did about over 8,000 cataract surgeries a year. In the whole island, it is about 10,000. But this year, March 21st, I was invited by the surgeons at Eye Hospital to felicitate me for completing 100,000 eye surgery.
Now taking a look at the weather, the Department of Meteorology forecast showers of thunder showers in the western, central, Sabargamu, eastern, north central and northern provinces tomorrow as well. It also says that fairly strong rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters could be anticipated in these areas in the next few hours. Short-term, strong winds at the speed of around 70 to 80 km per hour could also be expected with thunder showers. The meteorology report further predicts that a decline in the rainy weather conditions as expected after the 13th of this month. Winds in the sea areas around the island would travel from the western and southwestern directions. Accordingly, there is a probability of an increase in the wind speeds in the sea areas from Hambantota to Potavila and also from Puttalam to Kankasanture via Mana from 50 to 55 km per hour. Deputy Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipili, said that there is no impending disaster situation due to the current weather condition. Our correspondent says thunder showers have lashed the Mankulam and Puliakulam areas today, ending a dry weather condition that has persisted for nearly 7 months. People in these areas have been experiencing a severe water shortage. Now, several state festivals are scheduled to be conducted on the 4th, 5th and the 6th of next month in connection with the passing away of Arhat Mahinda Mahathera. The chief incumbent of the Mihintale Vihara, Venerable Rupavahini Dhammaratanathera, has disclosed these facts at a progress evaluation meeting regarding the reconstruction project of the Mihintale Raja Mahavihara at the Temple Trees today. The meeting has dealt with issues pertaining to the declaration of the Mihintale sacred site as a national heritage and also on the declaration of the Pusan festival as a state festival. A proposal has also been presented regarding the declaration of national holiday on the 4th of October with regard to the passing away of Arhat Mahinda Mahathera. Approval has also been granted to the cabinet proposal submitted by the Prime Minister on the reconstruction project of the historic Mihintale Raja Mahavihara Sthane. The state festival is to be presided over by the President and the Prime Minister. The Venerable Chief Incumbent Theatre of the Mihintale Raja Mahavihara has also expressed opinion at the meeting, presided over by the Prime Minister's Secretary EMSP Ekanayaka. Sports, taking a look at cricket. The Sri Lankan cricket team participating in the One-Day and T20 series in Pakistan was announced today. Accordingly, captain of the One-Day team is Lahiru Thirimana and the captain of the T20 team is Dasun Shanaka. The Sri Lankan cricket has announced the team which has received the approval of Sports Minister Harin Fernando. Captaincy of the teams have been changed with the announcement of 10 strong members of the Sri Lankan team, expressing their unwillingness to participate in the tournament. 15 players are included in the One-Day team captained by Lahiru Thirimana. There are 16 members in the T20 team under the captaincy of Dasun Shanaka. There are 3 One-Day matches and 3 T20 matches in the Sri Lanka-Pakistan cricket series, which is scheduled to take place from the 27th of this month to the 9th of next month. And that is a wrap of tonight's Primetime News. Until we meet again next time, do take care and good night.